Hello. Thank you very much for joining me today. How you doing? Shall we react to top 10 things in British culture impossible to explain to non-Brits? That would be me. I'm a non-Brit. And it's by Watch Mojo UK. Small and up-and-coming YouTube channel. Link down below. Check them out. All right, let's see. Top 10 things my simple American brain just can't comprehend about British culture.
I love to laugh.
Toast, I've been meaning to talk to you.
You're talking to me now.
Yes. It's about the sense of humor issue.
I have a
Issue. I always liked how you guys pronounce that word. Issue.
terrific sense of humor. It's just very dry.
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK. And today we're counting.
I'm not gonna lie, that looks bad. I actually didn't. Okay, this is stupid. I didn't realize that was animated when I first saw it coming out. Obviously now I do, but yeah.
Down our picks for the top 10 things in British culture impossible to explain to non-Brits.
It's not
Impossible.
quite nasal enough the way you're doing it, all right? You're not doing it the way he speaks. You're not doing it with the kind of... And you don't do the broken voice, but it gets very emotional.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Go check them out.
For this list, we'll be looking at a few causes of cultural confusion that are unique to the small island we call home. What do you find weird about the UK? Let us know in
I think it's weird how you guys have two different faucets for hot and cold water. Try to explain that to me.
the comments.
You can't.
Number 10, Marmite.
It's like Vegemite.
A dark brown savoury spread invented in the late 19th century and made from yeast extract sludge left over from brewing beer.
See, isn't the Vegemite made from yeast extract stuff? So, like, is there a difference?
Sounds yummy. Well, actually, it doesn't. But Marmite fans know the very real joy it can bring when spread thinly on hot buttered toast with a fresh
Hot buttered toast.
brewed cup of tea to balance out
So it's straight up just Vegemite.
the salty flavour.
Doesn't take long before new
Salty flavor. Because I've tried Vegemite. That all sounds just like Vegemite.
recruit Callum Howe finds another jar in a
That might be ludicrous to be saying. I acknowledge that. So I'm sorry if anybody's aghast.
shocking state.
Oh no.
What's the matter?
It's a baby one.
Okay, don't panic.
It's not been used in months.
Not all Brits feel the same though, and Marmite is famously marketed as a polarising food that you either love or hate. The proper stuff is only manufactured in the UK in the Burton-on-Trent Marmite factory. It's been there since 1902 and produces roughly 50 million jars in a year. And no, Australia,
Can't be too bad. 15 million jars in a year. What's he about to say about Vegemite?
And no, Australia, Vegemite is not as good. Number 9. Public schools are private
Shots fired. Public schools are private schools.
schools.
Left is right, up is down. War is peace.
Settle down.
You'll often hear it said that our country is run by public school boys. However, this doesn't
Boys or boards? School boards? Public school boys run Britain. Had no idea.
said that our country is run by public school boys. However,
What the hell does that mean?
this doesn't mean what it might in other parts of the world. It doesn't imply that these politicians went to state-funded institutions and pulled themselves up by their bootstraps. It suggests that they were born into extreme privilege and attended some of the most prestigious fee-paying schools in the world. In the UK, we refer to schools for the general public as state schools, and private schools for the wealthy as public schools or independent schools.
I'm sorry, but that doesn't make much sense to me. How is that a public school? Do you refer to, like, I mean, if you say it's a public library, do you not say that? Do you say it's a state library? Would you say it's a public road? It's a state road. I guess we say that too. But we would also say it's a public road. You know, public. Public. It's public. You're out in public. Anybody, everybody can go.
Except
How is that a private school?
not all private schools are called public schools. Some do actually call themselves private schools, and most call themselves charities too. Registered
Call themselves what?
themselves private schools, and most call themselves charities too. Registered charities. Confused yet? No more than you should be.
Yeah.
Number 8. Insults are our love language. Terms of affection and
Banter.
endearment are different the world over. In the UK, you know that someone feels comfortable around you if they insult you to your face. Or they might just be rude.
They're not jokes as such, they're just little things to say.
Yeah, it's probably fine in the hands of taxi drivers, or cockneys, or even Geordies.
When you've lived here long enough, you'll learn to tell the difference.
Now, is there a time where somebody takes it too far? You know, they say one piece of banter and it's okay. Next, okay, they're walking the line. The next, okay, it's time to fight. You know, especially if they're drunk. You know, I guess that's why a lot of bar fights tend to break out in the UK.
Sarcasm may
Banter gone wrong.
be the lowest form of wit, but it's also a great tool for masking social awkwardness. It stops conversations becoming too serious and fends off the Brits' greatest fear, earnestness. We spend so much time being generally polite, no one wants to put that wall up around their own friends and family.
You know what you are? You're a big bag of shit!
It doesn't mean we love each other any less, but where's the fun in life without some friendly teasing? Deadpan delivery required, of course. Number 7. Town names and their pronunciation. British place
Shiterton.
names are famously difficult for tourists to get their head around. Even native-born Brits will get tripped up at some point. The English language has a
way.
checkered history. You can blame most of the confusion on the Romans, Anglo-Saxons, and the Vikings. Also the French and the Celts. Being able to pronounce the name of Welsh village has even become something of a party piece.
Up the road from Llanfair Pwllgwyngyll go Gerach Windrobol, Llantysilio go go go.
Oh, brother, that's ridiculous. It's like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. You guys made that one up too, didn't you?
The temperature got to 21 Celsius.
When you take pronunciation out of the equation, however, there are still a
New invention?
lot of place names that
Oh, did you patent it?
sound like somebody might be having you on.
You shouldn't put a sign up about a new invention until it's patented.
From Fatty Head to Scratchy Bottom, there are oddly named towns in every corner of the British Isles. Number 6. The variety of accents.
When it gets loudly, it gets very loud indeed. It gets very specific. It's not quite nasal enough the way you're doing it, all right? You're not doing it the way he speaks.
Every country has its own differences in dialect and accent, even if it's difficult for an outsider to hear the nuance.
It is difficult.
But for such a small place, the UK does seem to have a disproportionate amount of variety. For a long
Variety.
time, a British
What is it about certain words like that that British people pronounce it? Like, that's a part of the accent I don't get. Variety. I can't even do it. Variety. Variety.
accent was generally thought of as standard received pronunciation, but with the world opening up, regional accents are gradually becoming more familiar to foreign ears.
What I'm saying is that, like, they had themselves proper jobs, you know, for a gun till, and they wouldn't date. You know, a lot of them's from broken homes.
Sorry, that was just a noise.
A Glasgow accent is very different from a Newcastle accent, which is different from a Birmingham accent.
You're a good man. And a good soldier.
People in the countryside don't sound the same as those in the town. Some people in Wales and Scotland even speak a whole different language. And nobody speaks like Dick Van Dyke, bless him.
All right, I'll do it myself.
Number 5, hot and cold.
Really? Oh man, I loved Mary Poppins. That's crazy. Nobody speaks like him, huh? Chim chimney.
Taps.
Oh my god, it's on the list.
There are a few questions that non-natives tend to have about British bathrooms. The no plugs thing is clearly a health and safety issue. The
No plugs?
carpets are about keeping warm. but separate taps for hot and cold, they're a bit more difficult to justify. We do have our reasons, they're just not really relevant anymore. Historically, cold water came from the mains.
I'm actually very interested in this.
And was safe to drink.
I'm quite all right, Barbara. I ran it under a cold tap.
Hot water was a later addition to UK households. When it did arrive, it was usually heated in a tank in the loft. Therefore, it wasn't as fresh. Modern bathrooms do sometimes have mixer taps. They've just not really caught on yet. Number 4.
Is that something that's pretty cool if you've got one of the mixer taps in your house? You go over to a friend's house, they've got the mixer tap. The thing is, it's such a rudimentary, I can't even say that word. Rudimentary, like simple upgrade, like simple design. It's like there's nothing to it. But also, here's the thing I don't get is that hot water, at least here in America, it's really, really hot. It is extremely hot. Like, it might injure you. There have been babies that have died because, you know, they accidentally filled the bathtub up with hot water, like all the way hot, and they don't make sure, you know, they screw it up and they don't test it, and they'll put a baby in it and it's died. You know, that's pretty messed up, but it's true. So, how are you gonna like? That just sounds uncomfortable to be mixing it together like that.
Or the tea obsession. No.
Maybe your water's just not as hot?
Britain is not the only country to enjoy a nice cup of tea.
Do you know, I can't remember the last time I had a good cup of chai.
But we are quite singular in the way we take it.
Most people drink cold tea here in America. I think that might be something that would be kind of funny to you guys. Like, a lot of people love tea, but it's cold. Iced tea.
Possibly.
They don't even call it iced tea. They just call it tea. You either get tea or sweet tea. They're both cold. And most of the time, unless you specify, you're going to get sweet tea.
Only the Irish who also understand this one. For the real tea drinker, you must understand this is not just a casual beverage.
Oh, no.
It is usually an addiction, begun in late childhood. A cup of tea can be a consolation, an offer of friendship, or a gauge of how long a visitor is going to stay. When a British person says tea, they do not mean chamomile or green or iced. They mean English breakfast, usually with milk and often with sugar.
Milk in the tea.
And please...
Never have I ever had milk in a tea.
Please, don't leave the tea bag in the cup.
Tea, Earl Grey. I thought that was like the fancy thing.
Number 3. Metric or imperial. The UK officially adopted the metric system in 1965. That's over 50 years ago. It's what they use in Europe. It's what we learn in school. It's a much simpler way of working things out, as you're working with units of 10, not 12. So why do we still weigh ourselves in pounds and stone? Measure our...
You weigh it in pounds and stone? How interesting. I wonder why stones never picked up over here in America. I don't even know how much that is, but apparently it's smaller than a pound if you're doing it in pounds and stones.
Height in feet and in...
Well, I'm really actually quite curious. How many stones in a pound? I don't know why it did it like this. This is stupid. Do it the other way. Okay, I guess the answer is 14. There you go. So 1/14 of a pound.
Inches. Travel in miles. Buy beer and milk in pints. The older generation will occasionally still tell you the temperature in Fahrenheit. Shouldn't we have acclimatized by now? No one under the age of 70 grew up under the imperial system. Good luck explaining this to anyone outside Britain, because it makes no sense at all. Number 2.
Well, I mean, it makes some sense to me as an American. I understand, and I actually have you guys to thank for it.
Baked beans for breakfast. British food has never had a great reputation with the rest of the world. We traditionally choose hearty, comforting food, and that's okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Need it in our climate. However, if there's one British dish that visitors really can't fathom, it's the humble beans on toast. Baked beans are a staple for the average Brit. Usually eaten as part of a fried breakfast or as a quick snacky tea, sometimes they're just what you need. They are eaten elsewhere in the world, but you'd be more likely to find them at a barbecue than on a breakfast table.
Facts. Baked beans are extremely common here in America at a barbecue. Not on a piece of toast, but by themselves.
No one else has taken this simple convenience food to their hearts quite like us. Number 1. What is the country actually called? The United Kingdom, Great Britain, the British Isles. So which is it? Well, the British Isles is a geographical term. It describes a group of islands including Great Britain, the island of Ireland, the Isle of Man, the Scottish Isles, and the Scilly Isles. Great Britain is the biggest island in the group and is made up of England, Scotland, and Wales. The United Kingdom is a political union. Full name, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
I didn't know that.
It includes England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. The red, white, and
I didn't know that that had its full name. The United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland.
blue flag is the Union flag, or Union Jack, and is composed of flags
Union
from
Jack.
England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, but not Wales. Got it?
Do you agree?
Yeah, got it. Good. Absolutely, for sure. I got it. Watch Mojo UK. Link down below. Check them out. Legends. YouTube Legends. That was a fun video. I liked that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.